If your home was damaged by Hurricane Milton in Florida and you had a Trump sign in your front yard, you may have been skipped by FEMA workers due to a request from leadership. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about FEMA workers skipping homes damaged by Hurricane Milton in Florida due to them having a Trump sign in their front yard. Now, this request came from leadership. Now, it was only one place in Florida. They said it might have been 20 houses affected, but one place, 20 houses is one place and 20 houses too many. Listen, I understand that someone may not like Trump supporters. They may want to punish them, whatever the case may be, but you cannot do that. You're in a federal agency. You are specifically not allowed to discriminate on any basis, whether it be religion, political affiliation, gender, sexuality, race, none of the above. If you do that, you could go to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. And the person who did this most certainly should go to the penitentiary if it's proven that they did this. Now, here's an article straight from Daily Wire. We got an article and a video. I'm going to just read this headline and go to the video and come back. But you see the headline here, exclusive. FEMA official order relief workers to skip houses with Trump signs. And the subhead, whistleblower. It's almost unbelievable to think that somebody in the federal government would think that's okay, which is not. Like I said, it's completely illegal. You have a private business and you don't like Trump supporters, you don't have to serve them. That's your right for the most part. But a federal agency, no. You are 100% violating the law. Now, before I go any further, let's get to the news clip here, in which I go into a little bit more detail about some of the reaction from political figures. I will link to the video and the article in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is calling for an investigation into FEMA after alleged FEMA volunteers told the publication The Daily Wire they were instructed by the agency to skip Trump supporters' homes when serving damage in Highlands County after Hurricane Milton.
Now, I'm going to go back and read this right here because it was kind of cut off. It says the blatant weaponization of government by partisan activists in the federal bureaucracy is yet another reason why the Biden-Harris administration is in its final days. At my direction, the Division of Emergency Management is launching an investigation into the federal government's targeted discrimination of Floridians who support Donald Trump. New leadership is on the way in D.C., and I'm optimistic that these partisan bureaucrats will be fired. Not just fired, but, I need some criminal charges because you're talking about people's lives. People's lives are in the balance because someone wants to be discriminatory. You cannot do that.
According to internal text messages reviewed by the publication, workers in Lake Placid avoided around 20 homes, quote, advertising.
Now, look, okay, so here's a message. It says implement best practices. Not one goes anywhere alone. Avoid homes, advertising Trump. Practice de-escalation and preventative measures. Communicate and follow the rules. Bring a towel with you tomorrow in the field. Frequent breaks and drink water. Avoid high salt diets and coffee. Coconut water is a fast way to replenish your electrolytes quickly. Now, what I will agree with is a coconut water. Shout out to the coconut water. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, discrimination, you cannot do that. If you're a federal employee, supervisor, whatever you want to call yourself, that is illegal. You can't do it. And you know what? Some of the other things here, don't go anywhere alone, de-escalation. What they're trying to insinuate, in my opinion, is that if you go to a Trump supporter's house with your FEMA stuff on, you'll be met with vitriol and hatred, maybe even some danger because of Trump's rhetoric about FEMA not serving the needs of the people, giving money to migrants, all this, that, and the third. But when you do things like discriminate against them off the rip and you put it in a text message, what you're doing is confirming what Trump and many others have been saying about not only FEMA, but the federal government in general. You have hateful people. They discriminate. They don't do right. They're inefficient. Listen, I don't care who you are, what you are. If you are an American citizen, you have the right to be served by your government. You pay taxes. Okay, look, you say whatever you want. You can say I'm argumentative, but I'm paying my taxes. If you don't want to serve me, then don't charge me these crazy taxes I'm paying. How about that? I'm getting triggered, so I digress.
advertising Trump. Governor DeSantis took to X, saying the Florida Division of Emergency Management would be investigating the incident, and the House Committee of Homeland Security also said it would be investigating. Dozens of GOP lawmakers across the state, including Senator Rick Scott and Representatives Anna Paulina.
Now, I'm going to go back and read some of these because they kind of skipping past it. So Anna Paulina Luna says, I just took swift action for the American people, and I'm demanding answers from FEMA, Deanne, I guess that's the lady's name, on why Americans were discriminated against by their government based on who they support in an election. The findings are revolting, and we need accountability. Rick Scott says when people needed help the most, if career bureaucrats weaponize the federal government against them, that is a fireable offense. They should be blacklisted from ever working in government again. We need to help everyone, regardless of their politics, and we sure as heck expect taxpayer-funded federal agencies to do the same. Exactly. Listen, you can say whatever you want about my politics, but I'm paying my taxes. That's all that matters. I'm an American. I pay my taxes. You are the federal government. Your job is to serve me. That's all.
And Representatives Anna Paulina Luna.
So Matt Gaetz says, breaking, whistleblower reveals FEMA officials in Florida were instructed to bypass hurricane damaged homes that showed support for President Trump. This is unconscionable discrimination, and Congress must investigate.
And Matt Gaetz have all weighed in. We've reached out to FEMA, and we're still waiting to hear back. And as soon as we get that information, we'll pass it along to you.
So there we go. That's that, which is crazy. I'm going to kind of skim through this article a little bit. This is Daily Mail. I mean, not Daily Mail, Daily Wire. Shout out Daily Wire. Hey, right when I'm talking about Daily Wire, I want to give them their flowers because during election night, when we were watching together, and thank you guys again for being there. It was definitely a night to remember, an historic night, and I'm glad that I was spending it with y'all. I wouldn't have been anywhere else other than right here with y'all. But Daily Wire had the best election results map of the entire night. They called states way before the mainstream media. They had the best map, in my humble opinion. So shout out to the Daily Wire for doing very good work on election night. Okay, but let's go through a little bit. Now, multiple federal employees have confirmed it. Okay, so it says it got internal correspondence, it got text messages, emails, all that kind of stuff. Now, it says FEMA supervisor told workers in a message to avoid homes advertising Trump as they canvassed Lake Placid, Florida, to identify residents who could qualify for federal aid. Internal messages viewed by Daily Wire reveal supervisor Marnie MARN'. All right, so you can do your due diligence and figure out who that might be. But anyway, Marnie Washington relayed this message both verbally and in the group chat used by the relief team. Multiple government employees told the Daily Wire. The government employees told Daily Wire that at least 20 homes with Trump signs or flags were skipped from the end of October and into November due to the guidance, meaning they were not given opportunity to qualify for FEMA assistance. Images shared by the Daily Wire showed that houses were skipped over by the workers who wrote in the government system messages such as Trump sign, no entry per leadership. Look right here. You see this that I was showing you earlier. And I think there's another one where they have the actual, yeah, so you see this right here? So DSA survey, did you make contact? No. And what was the outcome? Not able to access property. And then I guess they got the sign right here. So you see the Trump flag. You get a Trump flag in front of your house, we're not going to even talk to you. And then it says notes right here, Trump sign, no contact per leadership. All right. This kind of thing right here is unacceptable. And it's part of the reason why we don't like the federal government. Hey, government, if you don't want the negative rhetoric against FEMA, then maybe stop doing stuff like this. The negative rhetoric does not come from nowhere. It comes from a real place. It comes from a very real place. And the more y'all don't understand that, the more y'all don't see it, the more people are going to be turned off by the federal government. And this is another reason why Donald J. Trump won the election. Okay. It's simple. So that's the lady right there, Marnie Washington. So you have a task force, and then you have people up under the leader of the force, and the person right there, Crew 49 lead. All right. So you got Polk, another one in Polk, Highlands, and DeSoto. She was a leader of that crew and told them, hey, they got a Trump sign out front. Don't even do anything. Leave him be. And you know what? As I close, I want to say this. FEMA has problems, and they've had problems for a long time. I mean, going all the way back to Hurricane Katrina, when the whole Kanye, George Bush doesn't care about black people when that happened. And then you have Hurricane Helene. North Carolina, people talking about, oh, you get $750 on a one-time payment, but you got to call and you got to try to apply for it, and you probably going to get denied. Meanwhile, the migrants get whatever they want, whenever they want, okay, all the time. Don't have to apply. Don't worry about getting denied. They get whatever they want. And now we have Florida, where people are totally getting skipped because they're Trump supporters. This is ridiculous. That person, it shouldn't just be a firing. You need to get sent to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. Simple as that. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on this whole situation? Are you surprised that FEMA did this? I think we all pretty much expected. This is the whole thing we were talking about. People say, oh, you Trump supporters, you guys hate FEMA because Trump told you. No. We're looking at what's happening on the ground. We see what's happening in these streets, so to speak. We saw North Carolina. We see Florida. And again, going back to Katrina, we saw that there's been constant problems. And then the migrant crisis, some at least of the FEMA money went to pay for the migrants, while American citizens who've lost everything in the hurricane are being targeted and discriminated against by the federal government. Completely ridiculous, irresponsible, and inexcusable. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.